Week 11, Video 3. Namaskar. Data privacy and consent. Ethical boundaries in the age of digital linguistic evidence. Digital evidence is powerful, but power must be protected. Welcome back. Today's session takes us into an increasingly urgent topic: data privacy and consent. In our digital world, nearly every human emotion, conflict, relationship, or threat leaves behind a linguistic trace. Chats, emails, voice notes, comments, screenshots, all of this becomes evidence. But this evidence exists inside people's private lives. As forensic linguists, we must read digital text not as data alone, but as lived experience, as a personal memory, as an emotional residue. Privacy and consent shape how ethically we engage with these texts. Why data privacy matters in linguistic investigation? The digital world makes it easy to retrieve vast amounts of linguistic material. But access does not equal permission. Privacy matters because texts often contain intimate conversations, medical information, family conflicts, mental health disclosures, or sexual content, or even vulnerable thoughts. Investigators and linguists must respect the boundaries of human dignity. Privacy is not a procedural formality. It is a moral obligation. The legal foundations of data privacy in India and abroad. India's legal framework emphasizes that no information can be used without lawful access. The Information Technology Act, the IT Act, the Indian Evidence Act amendments, and court rulings like Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India 2017 affirm the right to privacy as fundamental. Globally, frameworks such as the GDPR reinforce consent-based collection. Forensic linguists operate inside these boundaries. Every digital text we analyze must come through lawful and ethical channels. Consent, the heart of ethical data collection. Consent means the individual understands what data is being collected, why, and how it will be used. Consent must be informed, voluntary, and specific. If the data belongs to a minor, it requires guardian approval. If the data comes from shared device, shared cloud, or shared platform, consent becomes much more complex. Linguists must take special care not to analyze or store any text that lacks valid consent or legal authorization. Case reflection: when lack of consent invalidated linguistic evidence. In a cyber-stalking case, crucial WhatsApp chats were collected by a family member without the victim's knowledge. The court ruled the evidence inadmissible. Despite the linguistic analysis being accurate, it could not be used. Ethics protects the discipline's credibility. If evidence is gathered unethically, the analysis loses legitimacy, even if the findings are true. Metadata, powerful but sensitive. Metadata often reveals more than the text itself. It can expose location trails, device identity, time patterns, deleted messages, relationship mapping. While metadata is a goldmine for investigators, it is also deeply personal. The linguist must ensure minimal exposure, using only what is necessary and protecting unrelated private details. Screenshots and digital forgeries. Ethical caution before analysis. Screenshots are easily manipulated. Before analysis, linguists must verify metadata consistency, pixel integrity, font spacing, and timestamp layers. If authenticity is uncertain, the linguist should refrain from providing an opinion. Ethical practice requires certainty before interpretation. Guesswork has no place in forensic testimony. Handling sensitive content, emotional and moral responsibility. Digital evidence often contains emotional vulnerability. Breakups, abuse reports, confessions, trauma narratives. Linguists must handle such texts with empathy. We cannot treat them as mere data. These are moments of people's real lives. Ethical linguists read with care, anonymize with respect, and store with responsibility. Secure storage and data minimization. Ethical practice requires storing only what is essential, for only as long as necessary. Data minimization reduces risk. Sensitive files must be encrypted. Access must be restricted. Hard copies must be protected. Once the case ends, data must be destroyed unless legally required. A linguist is a custodian of private lives. They must keep that trust intact. Bias in digital interpretation. Reading chats without judgment. Digital conversations work on different norms. A short reply may reflect busyness, not hostility. A delayed message may reflect battery drain, not deception. A heart emoji may reflect friendship, not romance. A missing punctuation mark may reflect speed and not anger. Linguists must interpret digital behavior based on platform norms, not on personal assumptions. Ethical red flags, when a linguist must say no. Ethical linguists refuse tasks that violate privacy or legality. Examples include analyzing text obtained by hacking, interpreting conversations without consent, assisting surveillance without legal authority, or supporting biased narratives. Integrity sometimes requires refusal. A linguist's credibility grows every time they uphold ethical boundaries. Digital age challenges. Consent in group chats, cloud backups, shared devices. Group chats raise the question, who owns the messages? Cloud backups complicate access. Whose consent is valid? Shared devices blur ownership. Each scenario demands legal clarity before analysis. Ethical linguists do not rush, they verify. Privacy is not a barrier to investigation. It is a protection for everyone. Thank you for walking through this essential session. In forensic linguistics, data privacy is not a hurdle. It is the foundation that ensures dignity, fairness, and trust. Protecting it elevates the discipline. In the next video, we explore professional neutrality in courtroom testimony, where objectivity becomes the guiding principle of expert evidence. Thank you.